When your son looks at you and says, Mama, look, you won, bullies don't win. And I said, baby, they don't, because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach them.
So disgusting. It was horrible, Neil. No one should approve of that. And I hope she doesn't talk to her son that way either. But, you know, what can you say? I can't anyway condone that. It's not how we act in West Virginia. It's not how we talked about public leaders. We might disagree with each other, but we try to get through it. We try to find a pathway forward. Where, you know, to act like that, just awful. And to speak like that is even more deplorable.
All right, you've heard all the dust up from Rasheda Tlaib, the newly elected and first Muslim congresswoman in the United States, who had some choice words for the President of the United States. A number of prominent Democrats, including Nancy Pelosi, have said the language was a little coarse, but they're not there to second-guess the intentions. And Senator Manchin, among those, said, well, it doesn't do us any good. Former Clinton strategist Mark Penn with us right now. Mark, you know, I think it's fair to say that this congresswoman newly elected and newly sworn in is part of a wave of new impassioned Democrats who rose to power being angry and feeling that the system and maybe the party itself has failed Americans. So there's more to this passion than meets the eye. Do you buy that?
Well, I think it's easiest to forget that the Republican Party was very divided when it ran Congress just over the last couple of years. And so you see, on the one hand, I think you see some very left-oriented congressmen and congresswomen getting elected, but a lot of moderates were really the key to the Democratic victory, the Problem Solvers Caucus and others that really represent a desire to move the party to the center and to have a compromise. They're not getting the headlines. They did get rules changes, but not headlines.
So let me ask you, Mark, could a Bill Clinton in this party now get nominated now?
You know, we're going to see that. I think just when we thought the Republican Party had moved so far right, they actually produced McCain and Romney as nominees. So we're going to see here whether or not, look, Sanders and Warren, if they both run, could cancel each other out. The party does want to govern. I think that this has been overrepresented, that Democrats just want to have a complete breakdown of government. Sure, a lot of Democrats, a majority of Democrats would like to see President Trump gone, would like to even see him impeached. That's for sure. But a lot of Democrats are still moderate in their perspective, particularly in the big states.
Nancy Pelosi is very careful, and those who have been urging impeach the president, but she obviously is aware that they're a vocal and powerful force, so she has to walk a tightrope, doesn't she?
She does have to walk a tightrope because, well, there hasn't been a Mueller report. There isn't really any evidence that could really be used to create impeachment at the moment. She knows that it's base talk, and she also knows that it requires 2/3 of the Senate. And so what she has to weigh most carefully is, wow, do I really want to kick off an impeachment movement that goes nowhere and ends with a headline, just as President Clinton got Clinton acquitted, this would end up Trump acquitted. And after all, it was just a partisan vote in the Senate. The same thing would most likely happen in the absence of some dramatically new information that after 2 years we do not have.
You know, Mark, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez made some news this past week in an interview with Anderson Cooper advocating for a 70% top tax rate. She said it worked well during the Eisenhower years when it was actually a little higher, and it didn't hurt us. What do you think?
Well, as you know, President Kennedy came into office and he reduced those kind of confiscatory tax rates. I don't think there's a movement in this country to do that. I think that's an outlier. I think people, while they're always skeptical of where tax cuts go, they do see that this is an improved economy with more jobs than ever. I don't see the American public looking for a sharp detour in that right now.
Real quickly then on Joe Biden and whether he enters the race, do you think he will?
I think Biden will enter the race, and he has a strong chance. He enters in many ways as the front runners. He's in the low 30s. He's not a sure winner like someone in the 40s or 50s. But remember, he's in many ways the kind of candidate who could appeal to the working class, who has real experience. He'll be a tough challenger if he can make it through the beginning.
All right, Mark, thank you very, very much.